welcome back to Casual Climbers, the podcast by and for beginning hikers. I'm your host, Donna Patrick, and alongside me is my husband and adventure buddy, Roy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So in this podcast, we provide you with tips, tricks, and reviews of some of the many hiking trails in the Blue Ridge and, for the next couple weeks anyway, the greater Appalachian Mountains region. Now, we may be somewhat unfit hikers.
We're definitely unfit.
But we love the outdoors, and we want to share our experiences with you. In this week's Trail Snacks episode, we are in Kentucky and discuss two trails in the Cumberland Falls State Resort Park, Cumberland Falls Trails 4 and 6. These trails provide you with a pretty spectacular view of the famous Cumberland Falls, but in my opinion, a better and more awe-inspiring rock formation. So what do you say, Donna? Ready to get started?
Let's go.
So here's Cumberland Falls Trails 4 and 6 by the numbers. This is a 1.64 mile loop, and the time it took us was 1 hour and 15 minutes, and of that, 56 minutes was actual moving time. The lowest point is 775 feet, and the highest point is 1,109 feet, so that's about a 235-foot elevation change. Pets are allowed on this trail, but it is not mobility-friendly because the trail is often narrow, rooty, rocky, and there's steps in some places. Some places you have to climb over rocks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mobility-friendly trail at all.
Not the most narrow trail we've ever done, but definitely on the narrow end of trails.
Yeah, and if you're mobility challenged and you still want to see Cumberland Falls, there's a parking area right there.
Yeah, down at the bottom where at Cumberland Falls.
Right
yes.
at the falls, that you can go straight to the falls. And
the big parking area.
Yeah, it's
bathrooms.
Huge. There's
and
hundreds
a
of
gift
spots
shop
there.
And a little snack stand.
So we'll talk about that.
It's a whole thing.
A little bit more as we get into it. So to get to this trailhead, though, search for DuPont Lodge in your map app. And that is in Corbin, Kentucky. There's a large parking area at the lodge, too. There's no shortage of parking to get to Cumberland Falls.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, Cumberland Falls is the, quote-unquote, the Niagara Falls of the South.
Which I was impressed with. Roy, not so much.
I was unimpressed with it. Now, there is a restaurant at DuPont Lodge with a gift shop. And there's also a food stand down below that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah, the gift shop at the DuPont Lodge used to be the gift shop that's now down at the bottom. And the gift shop at DuPont State Lodge now is just a glass case in the front area.
It's very small.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be.
So the trail starts from the parking area there at DuPont Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
And then it takes you through the woods, and it's beautiful walking through there. I'm not going to take that away. Nothing spectacular like some of the other trails that we've covered. It's just a hike through the woods.
Now, your back was out this day.
The whole day.
Yes.
My back was out the whole day.
I really, really thought that we were not going to be hiking that day because of how bad your back was out. I'm impressed that you got through. I was worried that this hike was going to be colored in your memory by your back pain.
It might still be, but I don't think so. Yeah, I really had a hard time, especially climbing up or climbing down, anything that wasn't level, and this wasn't. The trail itself starts high,
mm-hmm.
and then takes you down to the falls area. Now, I want to make sure this is clear to everybody. There are two spots to access Cumberland Falls. The spot that the trail itself starts at the DuPont Lodge, not at the parking area for Cumberland Falls. Very different. Make sure if you want to hike, park at DuPont Lodge.
You're going to be driving past the Cumberland Falls parking area to go up to DuPont Lodge?
No, it's down further. You're going to turn off into DuPont Lodge before you go down to Cumberland Falls.
All right.
But just be clear, if you want to do the hike itself,
go to DuPont Lodge.
Go to DuPont Lodge. If you just want to see the falls,
go to Cumberland Falls.
Yeah, go to the Cumberland Falls parking area.
Which is, again, huge.
It's huge. It's massive. This trail crosses the road that takes you to the parking area. Mm-hmm. And there's a blind curve there. So when you're crossing, be very careful.
And if you're driving, be very careful.
Because there may be hikers crossing the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please heed that warning. look both ways and make sure that you cross as quickly as you can. Don't
And
dawdle.
drivers drive a little slow.
I was so surprised at how fast some people were going on that curve.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be at this point, but
No.
the speed limit's 25, and there were people going 40 around that curve.
I mean, I guess if you go there all the time, or if you're young and you need a sense of thrill and excitement and you don't live near any kind of theme parks with roller coaster rides, I'm making a lot of excuses.
You were making a lot of excuses for bad drivers.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to call you bad drivers out there. If you are driving fast on these mountain roads that you have they're blind curves because there's no way you can see what's around. You know what? It could be a person. It could be a deer. A deer will really
Any
mess
number of
your
things.
vehicle
Could be
up.
a downed tree. Could be anything.
So just out of concern for yourself and your vehicle.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Just slow it down.
Yeah. That's our PSA.
And enjoy the drive. I
Yeah.
love driving mountain roads
Yeah.
at the speed limit or below a lot of times. Okay, so once you cross the road, you might have noticed, listeners, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about the first portion of this. It's actually trail number 4. That is the first portion that takes you from DuPont Lodge down to the Cumberland Falls. It's fairly unremarkable.
Well, again, you had the back pain. It was, let's see, this was October 24th,
Mm-hmm.
2024, and the colors were beautiful.
Colors were beautiful, absolutely. But, I mean, as far as the trail goes, it was pretty unremarkable. Just walking through the woods, down the mountain.
Yeah, I think there was some actual challenging stuff to get down, like a boulder or something that we had to get. Like there was something I remember.
There were
thinking,
some steep steps.
Okay.
In spots.
I remember
that I struggled with.
I thought to myself, this is going to be challenging to get back up.
We didn't come back the same way
Right.
as you remember.
Yes.
But you can, if you wanted to, you could
turn around and
go right back the same way. I
We
don't
don't
recommend
recommend
it.
We don't.
Because I'm going to tell you about the back half here in a minute.
Mhm.
But let's get through all this other stuff first. So once you get across the road, it drops you into the parking lot there at Cumberland Falls. As we mentioned, there is a gift shop there. There's also
Yeah, it's really nice.
it's a nice gift shop. It is. There's also a food stand and a little dessert truck.
Yeah, what was
there.
that? What are those like? They're almost like
I think
pancake.
they had funnel cakes.
Funnel cakes.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
there was
you.
a funnel cake truck and then a permanent food shop where you can get hamburgers, hot dogs, sandwiches, stuff like that. Chicken sandwiches, stuff like that.
Yeah,
The line was long.
The line was
even on a
well,
Thursday it was
I
long.
kind of wonder if the line was long because the funnel cake little food truck kind of thing was not open when we were there. Also, if you are hiking, you kind of want to reward yourself with something delicious if you can. It's just a nice little,
I think
boom.
most people there were
Most people
parked
there were
there.
not hiking. I
Yeah.
think you're right. I had a lot of trouble with the bees. I didn't get stung, but there were a lot of bugs. I did not want to stand near the
near the entrance to the food.
yeah.
There was a bee that was buzzing around.
No, there was like 2 bees. I'm telling you, and they were very, very interested in me.
Yeah, just ignore them. They won't hurt you.
Okay, all right.
Did you get stung?
No,
All right then.
it's not because I ignored them.
No, you didn't ignore them. You walked away. They hang around because of the smell of the food that's there.
I did not smell like food.
So once you get past that, then it actually takes you to a boardwalk for a viewing platform of the falls. So Cumberland Falls is famous for the moonbow, and we're going to talk about the moonbow a little later in this episode. But basically, it's a rainbow made by the moon. So you can
Yes.
only view it at night, and it's typically only viewed in full moon conditions.
Full moon conditions, no clouds. You need the perfect conditions, but and we were not there.
We were
I
there
guess-
during the day.
I guess you have to. Do you have to camp can you get in there?
Yeah,
and
you
all
can
that?
park there.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, you can just go there at night.
Okay. So there's no like gate or anything that would be keeping you out.
I don't think so. No, I
Okay.
didn't see one.
Yeah, because I definitely want at some point in my life I want to see the moonbow. Maybe I wonder what month would be the best. Is there a better month to go?
So there is an actual calendar on the Cumberland Falls State Resort Park that tells you the best days to go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to look at that because I want to.
Yeah.
But I did get a rainbow.
So here's what makes Cumberland Falls particularly interesting if you like moonbows and rainbows. It's kind of in this coved area. And so the it does push a lot of water down this waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of mist that arises from it. And it's angled in such a way geographically that the moon and the sun almost constantly create rainbows. And so you'll see from our pictures of this week's episode on our Instagram site,
yeah,
there's a gorgeous double rainbow or even triple rainbow that you can see at any given point. Now, the best view of the falls, in my opinion, is not there. There is a trail that you can take a little bit further down the road that takes you to the bottom of the river, so you can see the falls away. But the boardwalk that takes you to this viewing platform does give you a good view of the falls.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. You cannot swim under this waterfall like you can at Hooker Falls. And is that something that kind of takes points away from Cumberland Falls?
That's part of it. I don't think it's any bigger than Hooker Falls either.
I think it is. I
don't know. I'd have to look at the measurements, but it doesn't. Like, I'd have to look at the measurements.
You were just so enamored with Hooker Falls, and I don't blame you,
so
but
great. So great.
Cumberland Falls is very different.
I don't know. When they said Niagara Falls of the South, I was thinking much bigger, and I knew it was smaller. I knew I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, well,
Niagara Falls,
Cumberland,
but this is not even close.
Yeah, Niagara Falls is. It's hard to compare that to anything.
Yeah, and I didn't expect it to, but I think somebody was being a little generous with their description when they named it that. Because honestly, I think even Looking Glass Falls is more impressive than that, to be honest. But whatever, I'm not trying to hate on Cumberland Falls.
I think you are.
Maybe a little.
Oh, God. It was your back pain, all right? You need to go back when your back is not hurting.
Maybe.
And the bees.
Yeah. So once you look at the falls and spend 30 seconds looking at the falls.
Oh, my God.
Then you can head back up, grab a bite to eat, go to the bathroom, do a little gift shopping, and then you're going to continue to trail number 4, which is the backside of the trail. That's all the way at the other end of the parking lot.
Right.
So and I'm going to put a picture of the map that we did, that the All Trails published for me after we did the trail, so you can see exactly where to go.
You and your maps.
You're going to have it. Yeah. It's helpful to people.
It's helpful. It is.
So to get to the Trail 4 trail terminus, you're going to cross the road, the same road that you crossed again, you crossed before, just in a different spot. Again, be careful. It's right there at the bridge. You're going to cross literally right there where the bridge connects from the other side of the river. Walk across there, and then you'll see the signs for the trail. And this is when this trail went from meh to amazing for me.
Yeah.
You start the climb up, because at DuPont Lodge, it's high. You go all the way down to Cumberland Falls, and then you got to go back up, obviously, because, physics.
What goes down must go up. I think it's supposed to be the other way around. But when you're hiking, if you go down,
if you start high, you're going to have to go
down and back.
Again.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to get to your vehicle. Otherwise, you can just sit on a bench at the bottom of the hike and ask your husband to please just go get the vehicle. That's an option for some of us.
Which, to be fair, you have never done.
I've never done.
Not a single time.
I have that in my back pocket.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So the backside, Trail 4, there were some of the most spectacular rock formations that I have ever seen on this trail. And this trail, I don't know why, is probably the most unused trail at the park.
It's not well
marked. It's not well maintained.
It's not well traveled. I don't think we came across a single other person.
Not a single person on it. Nope, not a single person. And this was pretty busy. Like, Cumberland Falls was busy down there.
Yeah. Well, because it was October 24th, it was a lot of fall leaves.
Leaf peepers.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is this one place, and it's called Circle Cave.
That's not Circle K. It's Circle Cave.
Circle Cave.
Yeah.
I think it's 100% misnamed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like a cave. It feels like a cathedral.
Yeah.
It is this huge curved rock outcrop. And we're going to put pictures on our Instagram so you can see it. They don't do it justice. It's massive. And there's rock benches and other boulders that you can sit on down below. It is...
You feel so small when you're there.
I felt so inconsequential in the grand scheme of things in this.
Which is really kind of nice. It's not in a bad way. It's
no,
nice.
in a very good way.
Yeah.
In a very good way.
There's a higher power who cares about us, that there's something this awesome out there.
It's just the
kind of way for me. I mean,
in seeing the beauty that nature can create.
Okay.
It's so spectacular. I was completely blown away. And Donna showed me some pictures of it back then. She'll post them.
I have to show the pictures of you sitting on the bench and me really far away taking this picture so that I can get the scope.
And you still can't get the scope because it's so huge. It is almost like a religious experience sitting in this. And so what's particularly great about it is, besides visually, you hear everything because
it's capturing.
You're basically in this amphitheater surrounded by the mountain and the curved cathedral behind you. So you can hear the river rushing by. You can hear birds chirping. You can hear squirrels. It's so impressive. Everything about it is just awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
So I sat for a long time just enjoying this particular rock structure. And to call it Circle Cave, I think it's a missed opportunity.
What would you call it?
Nature's Cathedral or something like that. I don't know. It's so big. Like if somebody had said, "Oh, hey, make sure you check out Circle Cave," I'd be like, "Okay, whatever." If somebody said, "Oh, make sure you check out Nature's Cathedral," or
well, I mean,
whatever,
maybe
God's Amphitheater, whatever you want to say, I would check it out. And I'm so glad that we went this back
because we just happened to take the other trail back.
Yeah, we could have easily just turned around and taken the same trail back, but we took the loop to go back up to the DuPont Lodge.
Yeah.
And man, it was so great.
So this was trail number 6, right?
Trail 4.
Oh, trail 4?
4 is the backside, 6 is the front side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would recommend trail 4. I wonder what it would have been like. Well, I think next time we probably would take this trail down and back.
Probably. Yeah, probably. So here's the only problem with trail 4 there. There are 250 to 300 steps.
Yeah.
Going back up. We didn't count them because I wasn't anticipating a lot of steps.
Yeah, and
when I started counting, I got to over 250. So it was so many.
It wasn't steps like at the natural tunnel. It was more because they weren't all like wooden steps and with the handrails and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. It was like a trail and then some rock steps and trail and then some wooden steps. And
that's right.
Yeah.
And very few of them had handrails.
Yeah.
If any, maybe a couple sets had handrails.
I definitely recommend having your hiking pole on this trail.
I agree. Yeah. This is one I actually used it on, even, and part of that was probably just my back being out, and so the Circle Cave, poorly named, was not the only rock formation on this trail. Every single turn that you made, there was some gorgeous rock formation. Nothing quite like that one. But there were cliffs that you could look up. There were interesting rock formations along the way. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous trail.
Yeah.
So without question.
Tall trees.
Oh, amazing trees. Yeah.
Yeah.
So without question, I'm going to go back and do this trail again when my back's not hurting so I can really appreciate it better.
I mean, this was with your back hurting, so you really appreciated it. And
I loved the backside, Trail 4. I loved it. If anybody says, "Oh, hey, do you have any trail recommendations in Cumberland?" I'm going to be like, "Yep, I tell you what, Trail 4 at Cumberland Falls.
DuPont Lodge down to Cumberland Falls parking area and then back."
So gorgeous.
Yeah.
Without question, that's going to be my recommendation.
Yeah.
And so because of the steps, definitely a field of burn.
Okay. Yeah.
Definitely a field of burn. Because I was out of breath after all the steps on the way back up.
Now, I agree with you, but I want to qualify this was day 4 of 4 days of hiking of us being in Kentucky and hiking around Cumberland Gap and Virginia we did a 4-day vacation of just hiking, and we are unfit. So this was the last day.
It was second to last day.
Was it the
second?
Okay, yeah, second to last day. I still think I would agree with you though, right out of the gate, even if we had relaxed.
Without question. This was one of the, now my back was out, so take it for a grain of salt, but anytime there's 300 steps over the course of less than half a mile or half a mile, that's a lot. That's a lot of steps. So, yeah, but would you recommend this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely, I would. And I would almost think that, you know what you actually could do if you wanted to get away with just doing this quickly? Park down at Cumberland Falls parking area, see the falls, and then just take it up to Circle Cave.
Yeah.
Just take Trail 4 up to Circle Cave and back down. It's not that much height elevation.
And you avoid the steps to do
Yeah,
Mount
and you
Lodge.
avoid all the steps.
Yeah.
So if you want to hack of this trail, park at the Cumberland Falls parking area down below.
Yeah.
You can see Cumberland Falls very easily.
That would
no
not,
elevation change.
Yeah.
And then go up to Circle Cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I'm picturing like we hike up to Circle Cave. I leave you there to just be in awe, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go check out the falls now because the falls
that'd
to
be
me,
fine.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
I'll catch you later. We'll each have, a car key so that we not to leave you or anything.
You're gonna leave me there.
No,
you're gonna.
No, I'm just in case I needed to get something out of. Well, it's a Jeep, but yeah.
In case you need to get something out of and then drive away.
No, well, I wouldn't drive away.
Okay, we should probably move on because I feel like this podcast is going to become a single host podcast.
No.
And so the listeners are going to be like, what happened to him? It's only Donna now.
Wait, no, it'd have to be only you. You're the producer.
Yeah. Keep that in mind. You remember that.
Wait,
you can't leave me somewhere because we have podcast listeners to please.
Okay.
All right. So that's our episode this week, guys. Cumberland Falls Trails 4 and 6 at Cumberland Falls State Resort Park in Kentucky. Now, this is a spectacular 2 set of trails. The first one takes you to Cumberland Falls, which is a beautiful 68-foot waterfall. Not as impressive, I think, as Looking Glass, even though at 68 feet, it is 8 feet taller than Looking Glass. But
it's impressive in a different way.
It's impressive. And I know we're probably going to get, I will probably get a lot of hate mail for banging on Cumberland Falls, but it wasn't, in my opinion, the highlight of this particular hike trail. The backside on the trail with the Circle Cave, which is inaptly named.
Right. We're going to call it Nature's Cathedral.
Absolutely. It's beautiful rock formation that just is kind of an amphitheater over you.
Yeah.
It's so spectacular. I will definitely go there many, many times again because it's just so awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for listening. Please like us and subscribe to us in whatever podcast app you use, and be sure to leave us a review because that's how our show grows. Feel free to check out our trail photos at casualclimbers.com or on Instagram at Casual Climbers Podcast. If you have a question, comment, or just want to drop us a line, you can reach us at casualclimberspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and listeners, be sure if you rate us or leave a comment, do it on Apple Podcasts because that's what the aggregators look at the most.
Yeah, it's not that we love Apple. It's not.
It's not. No, it's not. We are a primary Android
phone
friendly here.
Yeah.
So, but it still is. Apple Podcasts is the biggest. But anytime you give us feedback, we love to hear from you. So be sure to do it.
Yep.
So, Donna, where did all this aggression come from this week? Did I do something?
I'm going to blame it on the moon.
You're going to blame it on the moon?
Yeah, we had a full moon.
Okay. It's a lot of aggression, though.
I don't think so.
A lot of judgment.
I feel like it's an average amount of aggression.
Okay, well, Donna and I go unpack all this with the therapist. We'll see you out on the trail.
See you on the trail.